Hello, and welcome to another very exciting Projection 3D 5 video tutorial. Today we're going to take a look at creating this very cool animation inside of After Effects. So if you're ready, let's get started. Drag the image to the composition window. This way, the new composition is created according to the image size. Let's type the name and click Match Camera and create a project. So the project is created and the FSpy window opens immediately. Drag the FSpy project file from Project folder to FSpy window. Great! Now we need to match these lines with the image. Let's match this line with the horizontal line of the tower from left to right. And the second one along the roof of this house. Good. Check focal length to see the value. Now let's match the green lines. Match it with the house line directed into depth. And the second one, along the roof of this house. It should look something like this, about 30 millimeters. Let's enable XY grid floor. As you can see, all axes are oriented correctly. So let's save the work and close the FSpy. And you can see that the ready-made camera automatically exported to After Effects. Now, for convenience, let's match the grid with the image so that using the grid parameters, we can quickly and easily create the environment. Click here to unhide helper grid, disable scale on all axes, and increase scale along Z, like so. Then increase along the X to cover the entire image. Also increase it along the Y. Amazing. Hide the grid, select the camera and the image, and click Create Projection. Let's make 3 scenes. Click OK, and the projection is created. Now let's create a surface on which the image will be projected. Double-click on Scene 3. To create the environment, let's use the grid properties. Click on Grid icon, uncheck Left since we need only bottom and back sides, and click Create Surface using grid properties. And the environment is created. Let's take a look. Hold Alt, and using the left mouse button, try to move the camera. As you can see, it's already 3D, but the tower is distorted while moving. This is because we haven't created a surface for the tower yet. To do that, first we must generate its position on the scene. The base of the tower is not visible in the frame, and we only see its upper part. But if draw an imaginary line, it's located somewhere over here. So select bottom plane and generate the tower's position. Great. Create a plane on that position. Okay. Now we need to draw a mask along the outline of the tower to get rid of unnecessary. Let's do that quickly. And it's done. But this is only the front part. We also need to create the side part and the spire. So duplicate the front part, reposition anchor point to see the arrows, and move it back. Cool. Okay, let's adjust the mask along the contour of the backside. Great, that's enough. The right side is not visible anyway. Now we have front and back sides. Select them and open our modeling toolkit. Switch to Mask Modeler tab and click Create Surface. Well done. We created the side parts. All that remains is to create the spire. All right, select the front part and switch to Surface Modeler tab. Select the upper left vertex and click Get. Do the same with the right one and click Create Polygon. Rotate it 180 degrees so that it points upward. And adjust the vertices. Now switch to Object View. We need to tilt it to get a kind of a pyramid shape. Like so. Switch to Active Camera View. Adjust the vertices. And let's make the top part right away. Just mask it quickly. Done. Only the side part remains. To create it, we will use another modeling technique. Find the back part of the tower and select this vertex. The side part of the spire should start from here. Let's remember this point by clicking on point 1. Now select the front side and choose the second vertex. Click on point 2. Select the front part of the spire. Choose this vertex at the top and click on point 3. So we have 3 points of contact. And now it will not be difficult for us to create this part of the surface. Just click this Create Polygon using Points button. And that's it. We get a triangle since we had 3 points. But the important is that it touches the other parts at all 3 points. All that remains is to add new vertices and adjust the surface along the contour. And we have finished modeling the tower. This part can be removed. It is no longer needed. Can check and make sure that it's modeled perfectly. Okay, let's look at it using camera. Yeah, it looks fine. Only the mountain on the right has not yet been created. Can close the modeling toolkit. So we're almost done. Let's create a surface for the mountain and finish the modeling. Select the bottom surface and generate the mountain position. And generate a second point to find the orientation. Select both position points and create a surface. Great, let's make it bigger to cover the entire mountain. And tilt it so that it looks like a mountain slope. Great, let's draw a rough mask to get rid of unnecessary. And the modeling is complete. Now we need to separate the foreground objects from the background. Because they overlap the background, and in the image, there is no information what's behind. So we need to move the foreground object into the first scene and restore those parts of the background that were not visible when the image was taken. Let's do that quickly. Select all the parts of the tower. Press Ctrl X and move them to the scene 1. Ctrl V to paste. Then select the mountain surface and move it to the scene 2. Great. All that remains here is to erase the foreground objects and restore the background behind them. And also convert all models to OBJ format, of course. Go to the first scene and select all parts of the tower model. Click on this plus sign to open 3D Object Converter. Type the name and click Convert to OBJ. Done. Let's check now. Perfect. Much more faster. Okay, next one. Go to the scene 2. Let's erase the tower and restore the mountain behind in Photoshop. Click on this icon at the top of the second scene and open the texture in Photoshop. Select Remove Tool and paint over the tower. Excellent. The tool removed the tower and restored the background behind it. But some minor corrections are needed. I use Clone Stamp tool to do that. Also here, and done. It's as if the tower never existed. Now let's select the mountain using Quick Selection tool. Like so. Great. Now press Ctrl J to duplicate the selected object. That's it. Press Ctrl S and save it as PNG file. Choose the project folder. Amazing! Only the background remains. Minimize the Photoshop. Don't close it. In After Effects, click on Replace icon at the top of the scene 2 and replace the projection image. Well done. Only the clean mountain slope. Time to convert it to OBJ. Increase model smoothing to 6. Type the name and click Convert. Done. Let's take a look. Yes, moves correctly. Now the environment. Go back to Photoshop, select Remove Tool, can delete this one, it's no longer needed, and start Remove the Mountain. Done, that's enough. Let's also remove this boat here, and also this one. Okay, save the image. Type the name and save. Can close the Photoshop. Replace the projection image of the scene 3. Select the parts of the environment. Increase model smoothing to 8. Type the name and convert it to OBJ. And our scene is almost complete. It's time to animate the camera. So I want to create a camera movement strictly focused on the tower so that the camera would rise and simultaneously orbit around the tower, keeping it in frame. To do this, we need to link the camera's point of interest to the tower and orbit around it with perfect precision. Okay, go to the scene 1 and select the front part of the tower. We need to generate position point to create a null at that point. So go to Generate menu and add position points. Then generate position here. And then go to Generate menu and create a null. Now we have a 3D position of the tower. Press Ctrl X and move it to the master scene. Select the null and the camera, go to the camera menu and click Add Target. And that's it. Now the camera is anchored to this point. To make sure, select the target and open the rotation value by pressing R. Try to rotate along Y-axis. As you can see, the camera rotates around the tower with perfect precision. Okay, let's animate. Add key on Y rotation. Go to the end of the animation and change the value to -4. Let's see. Good. The camera rotates around the tower. Let's also make it rise up. Select the camera, press P and Shift A to open the position and the point of interest. Add keys on both, and rise up using the middle mouse button. Go to the end of the animation and do the opposite. Move down. Very nice. Let's pre-render and see. Perfect. I like the movement. But the problem is that the camera goes beyond the edge of the image when moving, and we will have to draw this area in Photoshop. Let's do that quickly. Click here on this icon at the top of the Scene 3 and select Open in Photoshop. Mark Increase Canvas Size and open. Great, the canvas area has been increased. Let's quickly draw the part we need. I use the clone stamp to restore the part of the mountain. Use Remove tool to smooth it out. Nice. Also here, and also the sky. That's it. We did a great job. Let's also remove this boat. We will animate it later as a separate object. Okay, save the image by replacing the old one. Can close the Photoshop. Replace projection image in scene 3. Perfect. Missing area has appeared. Let's convert it to OBJ again. Replace the old one. Excellent. We achieved what we wanted. All that remains is to animate the sea and the boat. To animate the sea, let's add a new scene. Double-click on it and add a bottom plane using grid properties. Then draw a mask so that it covers only the sea. Need to increase here to cover the entire surface. All right, now open Material Options and disable Accept Shadows option. Apply Fractal Noise Effect. Open Transform tab and reduce scale to 1. Add more contrast. Then hold Alt and click on Evolution option. Type time, star, 300. Good. Let's take a look. As you can see, we get something like a ripple motion. Go to the master scene, select 3D Models Comp, and apply Displacement Map. Reduce vertical displacement to 1. Change vertical and horizontal color mode to luminance. And for displacement map layers, select Scene 4, with the fractal noise we just created. Great, let's pre-render and see. Yes, looks nice. Now the boat. Go to the Scene 1. Add a bottom plane. Mask the boat and its trail. Great. Now let's make it 3D. Type the name and convert. Done. Double-click on 3D Models Scene. Adjust the anchor point. OK. Add key on position value. Go to the end of the animation and add some movement. Yes, the boat is moving now. There's just one last touch left. Create a new composition. 1920 by 1080. Find the master scene in the project window and move it to the new comp, and just adjust the scale. All right, the scene is ready. Let's pre-render and take a look. Amazing. I like it. Beautiful camera movement, and the boat is moving, and everything looks great. So this is all, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.